It is 3 minutes after 8. Kwikithi ngesi radio. Sithatha impahla, but now sithatha amazinyo with Dr. Nziweni. #AskLwanda every Wednesday from Ntsimbi yesibhozo uyutheke around about 20 past. But today bendithembisile nathi sathana ngabantwana, sathana ngamatinqo, sathana ngabakulolo. Oh, my favorite part, like ndiyawathanda kakhulu. Well, sinaye ke namhlanje uDr. Nziweni, but mna kuzafuneka ndidedele usomachiza ayidrive ngokwakhe le way because nguye umuntu walapho. Kodwa ke phambi koko mandithathe lithuba ndikwamkele Doc enkqubeni. Siyabulela kakhulu. Kunjani kodwa? Right, enkosi. Uzanisondelela nje apha embokweni. So njengoba sendithuleke mphulaphule, I am not the one ozabe driver this interview, kodwa zawunikela uDoc nosomachiza bakhe bayiqhube ngokunokwabo. Kodwa ke ndiyafuna nje ngelo xesha uba uDoc akaphinde azibulisele. Sinababukeli ke Doc apha bakaKithi ngesi radio, sinabo nabaphulaphuli. So ndifuna ke aba basibukeleyo nabo xa ubulisa ungabashiyi. Azibabulisa Doc.
Good morning, everyone, the listeners, the viewers, and the followers. Yeah.
All right, Somachiza, manikele ku.
Okay, thank you, Lhoza. Hi, Doc. Good morning to our listeners, streamers. Good morning to everyone who's watching. Mhlekazi, siyabulela kakhulu manje ngoba nawe namhlanje apha enkqubeni. Thank you for affording us your time. Yeah, so tell us, there's this thing here about dentist ngugqirha okanye ngogqirha. Which is it? Dentist ngugqirha wamanyani. How
Dentist ngugqirha ne?
Yeah.
WamaMfene.
Okay.
You gotta be specific with that. I don't know imvelaphi that's the lack of information in Dabo Tetanai. Even in the consulting rooms here leaded to a lot of problems.
Yeah, I can imagine. I think ikhona nje into yolwazi oluncinci ebantwini, which is why we have you today, so that abantu bangacinga uba i-dentist nje ngumuntu okhupha amazinyo. There's a lot more to who the dentist is. So sithetha ngantoni namhlanje?
Well, yeah, I think we should be talking about the challenges. The biggest challenge is Sinazo is a lack of information and misinformation.
Yeah.
Lack of information, abantu bayahlala with problems. Bengayazi intobana there is a solution.
Sure.
There is a better solution to the problem. Let's talk about izinyo elibonile. You get somebody at dinezinyo linomngxuma.
Okay.
I would ask 8 months ago.
Yo.
And John Bayena Elbone 8 months ago. I'll 8 months ago. It's probably 2 years.
Yo.
But what they do by Ashala. And one of the causes of this whole thing is fear. But then the fear leads to you ending up in a worse position.
Fear of
dentistry in general, fear of the unknown, and the misinformation, the things that they hear on the street. And first with Ledo Ivy Leo, I cannot substantiate no kutwa.
Yeah.
Kutwa abantwana abakhutshwa amazinyo, kutwa abantu abadala abakhutshwa amazinyo. But is there any dentist who has ever said that?
Yeah.
No, I could chiwo.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Umntana, I understand uba uzawukhumka mna ndingumzali wakhe, so noba ndiyayibona into amazinyo wakhe nalo ngxaki unerhunanti, what we call ndinalaa nto uba hayi wethu anyanzelekanga aye kwi-dentist azawuphuma mos la mazinyo anyway. What would you advise lo mzali?
That's a combination of misinformation and lack of information. As long as Undana has a tooth in the mouth, even if it's one, if there is a problem that needs to be attended to, but what happens is that ayabona abebuhlungu, abeseptic, they cause a whole lot of problems. And the mother, the parent would have sleepless nights. The child would be in agony.
Yeah.
You know, that could have been attended. And one of the things we do as well, preventative measures, is to teach them how to clean their own children's teeth. But and the first person who suffers this
is actually the child.
The child.
The child, because umntana uxhomekeke kuwe ngomzali uba kufuneka ibe nguwe that makes the decisions.
And umntana is helpless. Well, listen, yena akazazi nozazi about no problem.
Yeah.
And for starters, I hate to use the word neglect. Most of the time, parents neglect baby teeth because
yeah.
But proper problems arise zingekakhumki, and your child will end up being taken to theater because out of 20 baby teeth, 12 of them are rotten.
Sure. So, Doc, let's talk about the use of lantambo. Abantu bayisebenzisayo i-floss umuntu ikhona lanto uba nokuhleli naye xa egqibotya soloko ekhangela into uba kanayo la dental floss ukhangela ii-plastic ufuna ii-toothpicks and that sort of thing, you know, like there's just people who can never leave a dining table engakhange abe kanti uzawufuna i-toothpick, you know, lo mntu lona nobe besitya ntoni na. Is this normal? Is this an indication that there's something that could be wrong?
It's actually how it's supposed to be done. But the etiquette came over no floss lapina.
Yeah.
Floss around the dining room table. Remember, everything you eat, even in liquid form, it's gonna get in between your teeth. But how many of your cleaning stuff can get in between the teeth to clean what's left in there?
Okay.
So floss is the best option. One thing that floss does is that it gets in, it cleans, and leaves the spaces intact, the same size. Unlike a toothpick that opens up, you would use a toothpick thinking uti ukupa ukuja. But that toothpick, the more frequent you use a toothpick, it opens up the gaps in between your teeth, and you end up trapping more food. Because of the usage. Unlike floss, if it's 2 inches the gap between the teeth, you use the floss, it's gonna remain 2 inches until the teeth move themselves.
Yeah.
Or for some other reason. But it would be our push.
But I didn't like when it comes to dental floss. Like I don't even think our mamas you have spaces in between them, and then I'm like trying to force it in there. It's like. Yes, you've got
the thinnest flosses that is as thin as your paper.
Okay.
The paper that if the paper can get in between that, but the difference with floss, you tighten it up to get in between. Yes, AMAZINYO to ayaklinana even more. That's why you end up with the worst cases is called is it that you can see? Then kubeko is it that you can't see but you can feel? Wisdom teeth isn't out, but they there. And those are more troublesome than there's troubles more life. Because wisdom teeth will trouble you for the rest of your life if you don't get them removed. And that actually results from in nature gives you let's say 2 millimeters of the bone length. Then it gives you 4 millimeters of AMAZINYO.
Yes.
So that means the 4 millimeters the AMAZINYO must fit in 2 millimeters of the bone length. That means you're not going to have enough space. This is just an example.
Yeah.
You've got shorter bone than the length of the teeth combined together.
Baphulaphuli uzawundilungisa ugqirha uba ndithetha into etenxileyo ne. So what happens is we are evolutionary singabantu, meaning sasikhe mhlawumbi sa-exista in a universe or in a world edinga sibe different to what we are now. So uzawuthi omnye umntu sasikhe sanemisila ngaphambili. Xa uqaphela amathambo womntu apha back ikhona into ebekufanele uba ingumsila but ayigqibanga. We also have apha emathunjini into ekuthiwana appendix. So our appendix ayinamsebenzi iwenzayo, but then ikhona nje. So it's argued then that into eyayisebenza kuqala singengabo aba bantu sasingabo, kuzawutsho umuntu athi sasike sazimfene, sasike zazintoni ngaphambili, andifuna uthetha loo nto. So what happens is, by evolution, amazinyo wethu bekufanele uba manga and bekufanele uba ayisize ethile, right? But our jaw length is smaller than what is necessary now. So umzimba wona usenza la mazinyo, but esa space sowenza la mazinyo asisekho. Utsho gqirha ne?
Partially true, but the biggest let's talk about a child who's a combination of two people.
Yeah.
The mother is tall, the father is short, and the father has got bigger teeth, the mother has got what did I? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Genetics
yeah.
abafani, yeah.
Then it so happens ukuthi umntana takes the father's bone length and the mother's teeth size. That's where the discrepancy starts.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Remember, as long as there is not enough space for AMAZINYO mawaphume phayana, the problem is abakhona. Ikhona the opposite of his trouble, where umuntu will have bigger spaces between the teeth because you've got more bone length and less teeth. Not less in number, but when you combine the teeth,
the size of the length,
yeah, you will have interdental spaces. Yeah, so ibanjalo iyafuzwa lando, and you find out ukuthi apha family your child is the first person to have his combo. Your child is the first person to have wisdom teeth ezingaphumanga, we understand. But xa ujonga umama notata bona wabo are straight amazinyo and never had issues.
Yeah, so umuntu kufuneka ayijonge mhlawumbi kwapha kulaa first date uba lona uzanika abantwana abanjani. Umuntu ajonge uba amazinyo walo bhuti okanye amazinyo walo sisi umuntu akhethe kakuhle okay kuba. So I know we promised abantu, but we want to speak about bed breath. Umuntu uyazibona uba I am using floss njengesitsho, you know, I am ndiyabrasha amazinyo wam, but I seem to have a problem with likhona ke eligama likhumshile, halitosis, which is I'm suffering from bed breath. So abo bantu, we would advise to come and see a dentist. Yes.
First of all, halitosis needs to be discovered, by isugapi. You can have a bad breath that only comes from your teeth or inside the mouth, let me put it that way. That comes from you not properly brushing or cleaning. Your time of brushing is shorter. Then you're not flossing, you're not scraping your tongue. You understand?
Yeah.
You end up with halitosis. Then you have people who has the recurrent tonsillitis. They might end up with halitosis. People, the worst case is one with lung infection. Might end up with what you call halitosis. So, and the sad part about it is that a bigger bulk of people are not even aware of what their breath stinks.
Kaloku and nam andifuna umxelela, you know, and because I do not know how to address it. How do I just tell ubani bani man umlomo wakho, you know? So into you know, there are some things that look like everyday things, but then abantu abazifundiswa. Do you get what I mean? So everyone assumes that ndiyakwazi uhlamba amazinyo because yes. I mean, how difficult can it be kuthatha nje toothbrush? But I think you know, where can someone get to know about, hey, am I doing this technique correctly? Is that what the dentist is going to do for you? To say, you know, what toothbrush to use, because there's like this variety. Figure shop which toothpaste to use, you know, those kind of things.
The misinformation and lack of information. The only people that can teach you and guide you how to do it properly are oral health oral healthcare practitioners,
Yeah.
your oral hygienists, your dentists, your dental therapists, and even including our dental assistant, they get trained as to how to teach you how to brush. Now, sitting at home, doing it for 30 years, thinking what you're doing it
Correctly. Yeah.
then on your 31st year, you have a problem with your teeth, and then you go to the dentist and they tell you, your teeth are dirty.
Hmm.
Every day. I give you a mirror and I show you, but this is not supposed to be there.
Mm.
Remember, there is something called calculus, or plaque. Part of the plaque comes from your saliva, residues from your salivary gland
Wow.
that continuously secretes saliva for your body to function. Now, when those residues get stuck on your teeth, combined with the food particles, they form a shield that is difficult or impossible to use to remove with a toothbrush. That's the only way to get it removed is at an oral healthcare center. That's it, and they will teach you how to do it properly. So it's never you've been brushing for years, but yeah, the results don't show that.
Yeah, I think generally siyazi siyazivimba. I think siyazivimba ngokwethu this kind of knowledge, and we have this thing where we want to reference from abantu who don't know any better than us. So xa ndifuna information ndiyakumama, ndiyakutata, ndiyakutshomi.
Yep.
Instead of actually, because ndinengxaki emazinyo, there is someone who's an expert at this. Ndinengxaki nomlomo wam, there's someone who's an expert at this. And nguye umntu who's the subject matter expert ebefana uba the consulta kuye. So I think today that's what we want to say, that we want to encourage and to promote people to consult with their dentist or oral hygienist or oral healthcare specialist with these that have to do with their oral hygiene. Anyway, Doc, I think that's about that, right, for today?
Yeah, but can I just say one parting shot? The route that, no pun intended, the route that people take, it is wrong. You're suka from your home with a problem in AMAZINYO or Emlonyen, you go to your pharmacy and skip the dentist. And guess what? The pharmacist is going to send you back to the dentist because they will give you something temporarily.
Yeah.
But the root cause has to be sorted out in order for the problem to go away permanently.
Yeah.
So, isingathi abantu should know into before, rather your dentist must refer you to the pharmacy and say, go buy this.
Correct.
And after the root cause has been removed or has been sorted, do you understand? Having bleeding gums, you go get your mouthwash, but your bleeding gums come from plaque that you have. The mouthwash is not going to remove the plaque.
100%. So I'm a pharmacist. Fortunately, it's a clear conversation. So what happens is the pharmacist, we bid the clinic, we bid the hospital. We are like the first stop. And I usually say to my colleagues that this is because we don't charge any money. So a patient is allowed to just come to the pharmacy and say, hey, another problem, this is what you think or what solution they need. And then they just walk out and say, okay, thank you, you mean, right? And this is not something they can do. Once I got we as and abantu are assuming that the dentist is going to be expensive. Kandi, what's expensive is buying these 5 different products. And nothing seems to be working. And if for the Zusu ganja you would have gone to the dentist, then you would have been saved all of this. I think ignorance is expensive.
It's expensive.
Yeah, there's a word in Jalo. So the more you are not doing the correct thing, you end up actually spending more money thinking that you were going to save.
Yes, lastly, or probably lastly, without pointing fingers again to anyone,
Yeah.
there should be, or there are government programs in theory
Yeah.
that children should be taught at school level. Oral hygienists should be visiting schools at school level, so that by the time you become an adult, you already know what you should do when you have a problem in AMAZINYO. Now, xa inga-exist that program, you become a mother, a father, you have a family, and you don't know how to deal with the problems AMAZINYO.
Yeah.
Then the likelihood is that your entire family is Landela, Lando, until somebody, let's say the head of the house, has some more information. You would know, guys, ka unezinyo, or the best thing, visit your dentist every 6 months.
Yes.
Without even feeling any discomfort. In that 6 months, you get cleaned, you get proper examination, you get x-rays done, so that we can see if your wisdom teeth are sitting properly. Are there any other upcoming problems? When I say upcoming problems, you having a tooth that will never come out because it's blocked by the others. It's not causing any pain, but that tooth can start paining on the 24th of December.
And then with the x-rays,
Izabonakala.
I man kukho izinyo apha, and you know what, this can be a future challenge.
Ngamehlo wami, I can tell from tooth 1 on the lower jaw, there's a tooth missing. Where now, according to you, kanti there are a couple of teeth that are embedded, that are impacted on your jawbone, that will never come out. But when one day, without you going to the dentist, you will never know that until
until it gets in like, and we don't want that. We don't want you to wait until you actually have a problem. Doc, you know, and as you're speaking, they're thinking about is those dentures for you know, ndicinga ngezinto ze-gap, umntu likhona elizinyo lithanda uphuma lilapha right guys uba kutheni lona lodwa, you know, and abantu then will have like a temporary or a fake or false teeth abakwazi ufaka phayana, elinye liyaphuma elinye lihlala lihleli, you know. So I think it's worth having you again on this platform sizokwazi uthetha nangezo izinto. So ndifuna ukuthi siyabulela kakhulu. Any parting words ofuna usithetha kubaphulaphula?
The first point of information or your help in the indaba yamazinyo is your oral health care center. Whether you go to the dentist, therapist, or oral hygienist, but ababa around where now, all they're going to do is to give you their own experience, which might be far, far different from yours, and most of the time is incorrect.
Thank you. So yes, guys, that is Dr. Nziweni, your dentist, and sizabuyela ke kusisi Lhoza asiqhubezelele with yeah, there we go. Sabuyela kusisi Lhoza asiqhubezelele with the social crossover.
Yes, I'm still here. Sivale properly.